What's up, fellas? Been a little bit, had some things to do. Had a couple tournaments I had to fish, and been doing a couple things. Plus, pre-spawn's been dragged out so long this year that I haven't gotten a chance to get to spawning yet. But it's about that time now. It's late May. Like I said, pre-spawn's been drug out for almost like 2 months now. It's been incredible. Probably one of the best pre-spawns I can remember in several years. But now it's time to put the spinner baits, crankbaits, put them all down, and start dragging. There are still a few fish that are out there that are pre-spawn, that were, last week or so they were feeding on the shad spawn, which happened pretty early this year. I was surprised too, but if you can get on the right deal at the right time, you can get on them in a hurry. Last week, one day, I caught 9 and 10 casts in a spot the size of a car. So it can get good if you find them that are still pre-spawn, but they're kind of getting more and more spread out, and now they're finally getting on beds. Today I caught a few that had bloody tails that were definitely bedding because they would have a male with them. The water's still too dirty, so you can't see them. But I'm going to show you a few tips on what you can do and kind of how they set up during the spawn, because a lot of people don't know. I see it every day. People fishing out too far or focusing on stuff that's just too deep for spawning bass. And I would say that there may be a few that are post-spawn, but there's not many at all. Most of them, like I said, this full moon has made that final push. The water's finally getting up almost to the 70s now, and it stayed at 58 forever. So I loved it because it was, all the fish were fat and healthy and pre-spawn and feeding up, and now you're gonna have to put some of that stuff down and start dragging. So let me show you a couple tips on the spawn. And if you're wondering why I haven't posted any videos catching or anything like that lately, it's because I've decided this year that I'm not going to do that, simply for the fact that there's a few guys that I guess are seeing where I'm fishing at and using looking at the background or whatever and using the GPS coordinates, and now stuff that I used to have to myself, even during the week, or maybe one other person now has 10, 15 boats on it every time I go to pull up. So and let me just explain something to you about that. If that's what you want to do, that's fine, but you're cheating yourself. Like, if you're going to just use these videos just to look at spots and go to these spots like that, you're not learning anything. Anyone could do that. Anybody can watch where someone's fishing, go there and catch fish. But you're cheating yourself because you're not learning anything. If you're just taking the spot, going there, catching fish, what are you learning, right? So use them to find your own stuff, but just keep in mind that what I'm telling you is going to be true. So if you use that and you find it for yourself, it's going to be way more rewarding, and you're going to learn 10 times more. So it's you're going to ruin it for everyone else that enjoys watching them. And I know that there's a few of you that do it. So you're just cheating yourself. You're not learning nothing. So just keep that in mind. So I'm not going to do them anymore, and that's the reason why. So now back to this. Let me just get back to the spawn part and give you a couple tips on what to look for and how you're going to pick these fish off. So, and make sure when you're catching spawning bass, you take a picture and put them back as soon as you can, because it's the longer they're off that bed, the faster that they have for predators to eat their eggs, and we want to have plenty of fish for the next several hundred years if we can. So just take care of them and put them back. So with the spawn, a lot of the time I'll see people fishing the outside edge of the grass. Okay, this is the grass line right here. Say this is the grass, right? And here's your bank on a flat, right? So you got all this grass right here. Most people that I see will sit either out here or even here and flip to the outside edge like this. That's wrong in the spawn, during the spawn. Okay, if there's pre-spawners that are out there, they're still going to be out here. But like I said, they're few and far between right now, and they're getting way less in numbers by the day. So what you want to look for is they're going to spawn where they're most protected, in between the bank and where the grass starts, okay? So on this inside edge. Now, if there's rocks and stuff up here, it's even better, okay? But what you're going to look for is you'll see little indentions in the grass on the inside edge, or little holes right on the inside edge. That's where you want to focus your time at, okay? You want to cast up here and drag it back. Once you get to here, then just reel it back. But you want to fish it slow, and you don't want to hop it this time of year, okay? You want to make sure you're dragging it, because what you want to do is their bed is here, okay? So if that fish is sitting there, you want to drag that bait, and then once you get to there, stop it. Let it sit for a couple seconds. Drag it just a couple more inches. Let it sit for a couple seconds. Drag it a couple more inches. Let it sit for a couple seconds, and then reel it back, and then move on to the next one. Look for the next little indention in the grass, okay? And then do the same thing with that one. All right. The outside edge is going to be good in the post spawn, and even when the bass start garden fry, which I'll go over another video when that happens. But right now, during the spawn, this is what you want to do. So you want to focus on that inside edge of the grass, okay? It's even better too if you have, say you have stumps on the inside. I would hit all the stumps that are on that inside. It's even better if it has grass surrounding it, because then that fish is protected on every side. So what you want to do is you want to look for these areas that are protected on all sides, because they will get up in some places that it's hard to put a bait, okay? So that's the kind of stuff that I would look for. And then when I went over the video earlier in the pre-spawn videos where I was saying to follow them all the way back, now is the time that you want to focus on those flats, okay? It does seem like the bigger fish will just pull up on a flat that's closest to deep water. So if you have a flat here that's got grass on it, and there's 20 foot of water running right here next to it, you want to fish this area on the inside extremely thorough, okay? Like I said, you want to look for those little holes or those little indentions on the inside edge of the grass. Inside edge, okay? And then, I know what it was. Okay, so make sure when that fish bites, because right now bluegill are their main predators. Bluegill are trying to attack their beds. So what you want to do, when they hit that bait, don't jack them right away. You'll feel them hit it, and then you'll feel them try to spin it around in their mouth, and so it almost feels like they hit it twice. Wait till your line starts moving to set the hook, because if they eat a bluegill the wrong way, it'll kill them, and they know that it will. So they hit it, like try to stun it almost, and then they spin it around in their mouth, and then they start swimming with it. Once they start swimming with it, that's when you want to hit them. You gotta be patient. Now, I mean, don't wait 5 seconds or anything like that, but you'll feel it. The don't. And then as soon as they start to move, that's when you want to hit them, okay? So usually I wait like 2 seconds. That's important too, because you'll pull a lot of baits away and you'll come back with an empty hook because they got the end of it, but they haven't span it around yet. So make sure you pay close attention to that. I know there was something else that I wanted to go over that I can't quite remember what it was, but if it comes back to me, I'll post it in the comments. But this is where you want to focus your time at right now. I hope this helps. It really doesn't matter what bait you're throwing right now, as long as it's something that's weedless that you can get through heavy grass or stumps, whatever. So hope this helps, and give it a shot. If I remember what I wanted to tell you, I'll post it in the comments. All right, guys. See ya.